Our nuclear revenge. First of 2 stories. Kill 3 kittens and a cat. Prepare to have your life ruined throwaway for obvious reasons. So first a bit of backstory. My wife and I live in a small town near the outskirts, i.e. it's all houses and no flats there. This will be very important later on. We also had a retired neighbor. Well, just call her Karen. Now Karen, we found out, had a bit of a history. More exactly, her husband beat a worker to death when he caught him stealing, and then covered it up by hanging him in the forest. He managed to get away with it due to some political and police connections. The husband had died in the meantime, but everybody still remembered it. Small city mentality, and she was an absolute outcast. That was probably exacerbated by her being an absolute Karen. Now that that is over, let's get into the meat of it. So over a year ago we adopted a cat to go alongside our tomcat. Surprisingly for us, they had kittens quite quickly, 3 of them, some 2 months after we adopted her. So we were raising them up, thinking about who should we give them to, when suddenly both she and the kittens disappeared. We found just one of the kittens in terrible agony that night. Her, I don't know what to call them, screams had woken us up. She died before we got to the vet. We already had our suspicions, which were confirmed by the vet. Broken glass. Given that the kittens always followed their mother, what we suspected happened was that Karen put a bowl of meat in glass, and the cat found it and shared it with the kittens. My wife wanted to go to the police. I had better ideas in mind. I should mention that the fence between us is an old one made of chicken wire with a lot of holes. Very easy to cross. So the next Sunday when Karen went to church, she was very religious. I went to check through her house. Guess what I found in the trash? The 2 other kittens and the cat. And so I set my plan into motion. Next week, on Sunday, I went into her house again. This time I had come prepared. I had cleaned everything flammable between our house and hers. Once inside her house I staged a little accident. She had a very flammable carpet. One well-placed turned candle and it started. So Karen comes home and sees that it's all burning. Most people would stop at that. We didn't. By now my wife was fully on board. Seeing Karen there homeless, afraid and all around desperate, we offered her to stay at our place for a while. Good neighbors as we were, everyone else would have told her to fuck off, she knew, on the condition she tells us the truth about the cats. We promised we weren't interested in pressing charges. We just wanted closure. Obviously I also had a hidden recorder on me. And when we let her inside she tearfully confessed everything, saying how much she was sorry, how she wished she could make it right, yada yada. So now I had a recording that was enough for quite a lot of criminal and civilian charges. Cruelty to animals, destruction of property, and emotional trauma. But I wanted to go for one more. The next week, after she brought all her stuff in, we served her an absolutely delicious lunch, duck with mashed potatoes. The only thing was, her portion had a crap ton of laxatives. So after she started shitting her guts out, we called for an ambulance, insisting she should go to the hospital. So Karen goes to the hospital and finds out there was nothing wrong. Pretty pissed she comes back to our home, to find all her stuff on the street and me and my wife on the fence, telling her to fuck off. The main gate to our courtyard, however, was left partially open on purpose. We also told her we would be pressing charges on the cats. Now entitled, angry and scared bitch that she was, what do you think? Did she take the bait? Of course she did, and she lounged right through the gate to discover both me and my wife had 2 wooden sticks on us that we promptly used to knock her teeth out. We then pressed charges on everything. Damage to property, the cat and kittens were technically our property, emotional trauma, killing the cats and us finding the one that somehow survived for a few hours wailing in our courtyard, breaking and entering and attempted assault. In the end she was sent to 10 years in prison and had to pay $10,000 in damages, mainly for the attempted battery and psychological trauma. Really funny thing is she kept all her money in the house that burned down with the house. So if she lives long enough to get out of prison, she will be dirt poor. TL. Dr. My Karen neighbor murdered my cat and kittens just because she was a happiness hating bitch. So me and my wife burned her house, got her in prison for 10 years, made her dirt poor and smashed her face with wooden bats. Edit. Thanks for the platinum, you kind stranger. Also, to answer the main questions in the replies, why weren't you prosecuted? Well, the only criminal acts were the trespassing and the arson, both of which cannot be proven. As for whether Karen had any connected family, the answer is no. She and her murderer husband had no children, and both him and his odious kin in the police have since died of natural causes. She's like 70 now. Before we get to the second story, please press the red subscribe button below if you're enjoying this so far. No proof? No problem? Don't mess with woman's best friend posted this in our pro-revenge. Someone said you guys might like it too. Professional ass revenge. Also on mobile BTW. TL. DR at the end. No names because what I did was pretty illegal. I manage a bar and one day I came in to see the place totally ransacked. Thankfully but weirdly nothing was stolen, which meant it was someone with a personal vendetta. I had recently fired an employee who I suspected had done it. We hadn't been able to get his keys back yet, so he had a way to get in and knew the alarm code since he would open the bar sometimes. I went to my office and saw that the lock on the door had been smashed in and the CCTV footage was deleted. The only thing that was missing was a clay mold of my dog's paw print I had taken right before she passed away. This dog was my first pet and was my best friend. I always talked about her and had brought her into the bar a couple times on my days off. We let pets on the patio, so all the employees knew how much she meant to me. I kept the mold on my desk to always have her with me. I was sure it was him. He hadn't taken his firings so well. But with no absolute proof I couldn't just outright accuse him. The bar is a bikini bar and the dude was a total creep. On multiple occasions he had made disgusting comments to the girls. The cherry on top was he came in drunk and groped the girl working. Men who came in could be gross, but the things he would say and did were on another level altogether. When I called all the employees to ask where they had been, he totally outed himself before I could even ask him. He said I was home with my wife on Saturday night. I just smiled into the phone and said I never said it happened on Saturday. He quickly hung up. Gotcha, bitch. The police couldn't do shit though with the camera footage deleted. All I had was him knowing it happened on a Saturday. Plus the damage wasn't too bad, just a lot of smashed plates and the lock on the door. So there wouldn't be much to sue him for if I did get proof. So I decided to get even and get my dog's paw print back. He only deleted the night of the break-in, not the rest of the footage, so I combed through hours of footage to find the time he had slapped the girl's ass and grabbed at her tits. But I found something even better. On the camera pointing to the back alley he was fucking some chick, probably a prostitute, definitely not his wife, up against his car. Jesus, this dude was an idiot. He even smiled and waved at the camera. I copied the footage to a USB stick and put it in an envelope. I knew he had another job, so I waited there until he showed up and went inside. I stuck the envelope under his windshield wiper with a note. It read, "Give back what you stole or this will start popping up everywhere you go." It didn't take long for him to text me. I played dumb and acted like I knew nothing about it, but added sounds like whatever you took was important to the person. He told me to fuck off and said he didn't have whatever I thought he took. I still played dumb. The next day I left another USB in his mailbox. I knew his address from his W2. And another on his windshield wiper again for good measure. I guessed he found them both because I received another string of texts asking what the fuck is wrong with me. I still played dumb but told him to give back whatever the person was asking for and it would probably stop. He said he didn't have the paw print and was going to the police. Man, this guy was as dumb as a bag of rocks. I told him only I knew the paw print was taken and now I had proof he broke in for the police. No response. I'm no lawyer but pretty sure what I was doing was just as illegal as him breaking in, if not worse, and he would have had a good case on his hands for blackmail, but he was dumb and probably just wanted it to all go away. Safe to say the next day one of my bartenders told me that the guy that was fired dropped off his keys and a package for me. In the package was my paw print broken in half with a letter that basically said he was sorry and he didn't mean to break it and was just pissed he got fired and to please stop leaving the video. I debated for a good while if I should send the video to his wife anyways, but I found out she was divorcing him because she had found the one in the mailbox. TL. DRX employee broke in and stole something precious to me, so I blackmailed him to get it back and made his wife divorce him. Thanks for watching. Please press the like button if you enjoyed and the notification bell next to the subscribe button to never miss another video. Let me know your thoughts below. Bye.